What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and when I saw this headline, I was just absolutely blown away. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker crosses $1 billion globally, and that's just stunning. That's not something that we ever see happen. $1 billion for this tiny little producing company, Disney? I can't believe it. It's shocking. I guess it has happened 9 times this year and 7 times with Disney movies alone. But still, what an incredible job. This is all I could really think of.
It's a big day! Incredible job! I know we had our differences, but today, I just want to tell you.
Hey, congratulations, it's a celebration. Party all day, I'm moving, waiting.
Hey, congratulations to your corporation. Yeah, you did it very nice, and all it took was a massive corporate entity with every song in Bollywood.
And thank you, PewDiePie, for so clearly displaying how I felt about this. Obviously, I'm being a little bit facetious here. But The Rise of Skywalker did cross $1 billion. And you have some people out there saying, whoa, what a raging success. Guys, this movie may not make as much as Rogue One. It looks pretty likely that it won't. You have some projections here. I don't know how these projections are clear. They're still talking about it possibly hitting the Last Jedi numbers. There's no way that happens. I said at the start of this, when this movie first came out, we were all making predictions. I've said the entire time about 1.1 billion, and I do think that's right around where it will end up. You can look at these charts right here from thenumbers.com. And you see Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, it is past $1 billion officially. Just cracked it. $700,000 over $1 billion. And you can see that it started off high and people were talking about, well, it could get Last Jedi. We've talked about that numerous times on this channel, that based on when it was released and when it hit that Christmas and holiday kind of boom, that's what made it look like it was maybe catching up to The Last Jedi, but ultimately, look at how much it's just trailed off, and it's really stagnated here. I just can't see this movie having much legs at all. In fact, Jumanji has much better legs than this movie. And what I mean by that is you can see here from Jumanji, look at how it just continued to climb and climb. And now that 1917 is out there, there's something else out there. People are stopping seeing Rise of Skywalker. Now it's not the number one thing to go out there and see. And Jumanji still has legs. This movie ultimately, although it's not going to make as much in the box office, is going to make a crap ton more money for the studio than The Rise of Skywalker will for Disney. There's no doubt about that. Especially when you consider the fact that Joker is about to be re-released as well for a short theatrical run. That's only going to dig into its profits more. And like I said, 9 movies this year have hit $1 billion. And $1 billion is still a lot. It's still a huge benchmark for movies to get to. There's no doubt about that. However, when you factor in how much it costs to make this money, estimated $350 million, when you factor in how much it costs to advertise The Rise of Skywalker, you're looking at it's maybe somewhere around $90 to $100 million in the black as we speak right now. Those are just estimates because we'll never know the real numbers. But that's not a big return on your investment, especially when you factor in the fact that you've already invested $4 billion into this franchise. Not including, merchandising, not including Galaxy's Edge that cost $1 billion a piece. I can't imagine that after The Force Awakens, after the big dip that it took for Last Jedi, that Disney's at all pleased with its box office performance so far. It's not a flop. That's basically where they're at right now. But with all the build-up, the end of this Skywalker parentheses Palpatine saga, it should have been much more. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I guess we'll get actually onto The Rise of Skywalker here. And you can see just how dead it is. How, like I said, with Jumanji, you see it continuing to take off in Rise. Rise of Skywalker, ironically, is not. But you can see here in this article, they talk about the other movies that have made $1 billion this year. So obviously Avengers Endgame, The Lion King, Frozen 2, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel will likely, in my opinion, make more than this movie. Toy Story 4, Aladdin, it'll probably beat Aladdin. That is, that's craziness right there. You know, those movies have all come out from Disney, and they've all made $1 billion. Then you factor in Spider-Man Far From Home and Warner Brothers, which Joker is just going to, I expect that number to go up since it is being released, like I said. So again, it's a big number to pass. Ultimately, at the upper levels of Disney, I do think this movie, even though it's passing $1 billion, when they started this whole thing a couple years ago, they had to think that this would be bigger. With Force Awakens making $2 billion. That movie made more domestically than Avengers Endgame. That's how big that was. And they have just killed the interest in the sequel trilogy with what they did. And yeah, we talked about it too. The leaked script from Colin Trevorrow, if that had come to pass, would it have been any different? Who's to know? I do think that the script sounded a little better just reading it. However, it's 2 movies too late. These are characters I don't care about. And that's the bottom line. So that's the news. I wanted to make sure you guys heard about it. The great success that it crossed $1 billion. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Make sure you smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and let me know if you think that this is a huge success that should be touted to the mountaintops. Let everybody know that it made $1 billion, guys. Or if you think that ultimately it should be considered a failure. Even if it won't technically lose money, it's really not making barely anything in the grand scheme of things. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.